Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today, we're gonna check how to play with Sue. But before we start, don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. So, there were a couple characters that I haven't done their Let's Play just yet, and Sue is one of them. Why? Because I was waiting to level them up so that they are at full strength. Someone like Sue definitely needs to be at max level if you want to play with her. Sue already received her renewal, and unfortunately, it happened at a time where we didn't have leader skills, so she doesn't have a leader skill, and she still needs um, more adjustments on her kit. And let's hope that they do them in time. But let's see what we're working with. This character is gonna be a protect human. Protect pretty easy to enhance, and human also, there are a couple things that enhance human. So let's check what we have over here. On the skills, we have Nakuryuso. Nakuryuso is going to be melee attack, hold evade, 15-second cooldowns, jump, and then crashes down to perform an area attack. It's gonna be the pure green skill with 1 green, knocks back enemies with an explosion right after landing. With 2 green, pulls the enemy towards the character, and with 3 green, increases damage by 150%. So, this skill is not the best damaging skill out there, but it's pretty good to deal with waves of enemies. It is amazing to deal with waves of enemies. And while it can deal decent damage, it is not the kind of skill that you want to use against a boss, just so that you know. I mean, you can just brute force anything by applying a ton of damage multipliers, but even so, its damage is not the kind of things that you want to use against a boss. Then we have Senrenka. Senrenka over here is gonna be a melee attack, hold attack, 11-second cooldown, performs a consecutive attack that slashes between enemies. Okay, so this is the main color skill. With main green, poisons the enemy by 60% of damage for 6 seconds. Main blue adds 2 additional attacks, and main red increases damage by 15% for 5 seconds. So this still has poison, which it allows for certain synergies, but honestly, like, it doesn't make that much sense. And I think, like, they should consider changing this in the future whenever she receives a second renewal leader skill. Well, what else do we have? We have Shunrenka. Shunrenka over here is a melee attack. During normal attacks, hold attack, 16-second cooldown, performs a consecutive attack during normal attacks, while with quick fists. 1 red adds 2 additional attacks, 2 red add a knockback attack at the end of the skill, and 3 red increase critical rate by 50%. So, issues with this one. So, it exposes you. You're gonna be locked in place. Like, all of those skills are pretty bad, that lock you in place. Either you want to cancel them, just in case, because you maybe don't want to take a hit, or they need to have massive damage to just break the super armor of the enemy. And since this is one of the critical rate increase skills, this doesn't have enough damage. It can manage, but it is not good enough in my opinion. This also means that this skill can be used on mixed builds. But honestly, if you're using a mixed build with Sue, you're playing something that you can easily deal with. Otherwise, you might not be able to clear the stage. So yeah, and this is missing damage reduction and a debuff maybe, or a buff. Honestly, it just doesn't deal enough damage. And the time you stay in place, God, I like this skill, but it is a bad skill, I gotta admit. Then we have Ryu Hashin. Ryu Hashin is actually a good skill. It's a melee attack and also a range attack. So, hold evade, 17-second cooldown, performs a consecutive attack by emitting energy into the front. One blue increases the area by 60%. Two blue perform an additional range attack by shooting a dragon, and three blue increases critical damage by 250%. So this one is the strongest skill Su has. And even so, it's not super strong. What's really strong about this is that it creates, as it says, a dragon that it's going to move forward. And if the enemies follow you and you go in front of the dragon, they're going to receive more hits. So yeah, it has good AoE, it has decent damage, so it is usable, for sure. But even so, not the strongest thing out there. She really needs many buffs. Then, we have over here Shojin Kyaku. Shojin Kyaku is a melee attack, immediately after enemy attack, dodge, and 9-second cooldown. Counter attacks with a knockback attack right after being attacked. Well, it just makes a counter by stomping into the ground, and it knocks back the enemy. So with 2 green, increase the counter damage by 80%, 2 blue, particle charge by 3%, and 2 red, gain super armor for 8 seconds. I like how the skill works on the main effect, but everything else is pretty bad, honestly. Like, maybe the green one is usable, but as I mentioned, Su struggles with damage, and here you're taking a hit. This character is meant to use super armor, so you're always going to be able to use this counter. You're not gonna get stun lock. But even so, yeah, it is not good enough. It's one of the worst skills that Su has, unfortunately. But it's good for dealing with waves of enemies. Pretty good for dailies, actually. Then we have Shinryuga. So, melee attack, dash attack, 10-second cooldown, launches own body and performs a charge attack. 2 green gains super armor for 8 seconds. 2 blue performs a consecutive attack that cuts to the front. And 2 red reduce the enemy's defense by 30% for 10 seconds. So the blue one is interesting. No, it is not that bad because it is more aggressive than the other ones. Even so, it's not the greatest damage, but it's something that we can work with. And the red one is amazing. It's going to reduce the defense of the enemy tremendously and for a long duration, so it's definitely worth using on your red builds. Then we have Ryurinkoku. Ryurinkoku over here says, immediately before enemy attack, evade. So it's a buff. 10-second cooldown. When doing an extreme dodge, gain super armor for 6 seconds. When a slot effect is active, reduce damage taken by 30%. So super armor and also damage reduction. That's amazing. That's super great. The 30% is nice. 6-second duration, kind of short. It's not 5, but it's still short. But we have 10 seconds, and we have to take into consideration the cooldown reduction. So basically, you can expand this, and you can become pretty tanky with the right supporters. Then 3 green, increase the duration by 100%. I mean, usually you're not gonna do a tank build on green. It is possible, but it is extremely rare. Like, we don't have many supporters that can help to that. So in most cases, you're not gonna use it, at least for the damage reduction or the super armor on green. Then on blue, reduce damage taken by an additional 20% while active. Pretty decent, pretty nice. And in fact, blue is the easiest color to make a tank build, so it is excellent. Then we have red. Increase damage by 20% while active. So that's good. That's pretty good. It synergizes perfectly with Shinryuga, so keep that in mind. This is one of the best skills that Su has, even though it's not a damaging skill, because the buffs are worth it, as it enhances your tanking capabilities on blue or your offensive capabilities on red. Then we have the basic enhancer, Taimanin Art Blaze Dance. Blaze Dance, melee attack, consecutive attacks, enhance normal attacks by using the Breath Blade in Pursuit. It increases damage by 10% with one supporter, with two supporters increases damage by an additional 20%, and with three supporters increases particle charge amount by 50%. So you might think this is not that great, and well, yeah, like the speed of these hits aren't great, but there are some builds that can use this because of the particle charge. And besides, you have a decent amount of super armor when doing the basics. Now, Sipasho. I don't know how to say this. God, what is this? This skill, it's a melee attack. Immediately after attack, dodge. 1 second cooldown, teleport behind the enemy right after the last attack and performs an additional attack. This is a rainbow skill. 1 green increases damage by 80%, 1 blue gives super armor for 5 seconds, and 1 red increases critical damage by 50%. I would not recommend using this. It is possible, but honestly, Su already struggles with damage. And even with all of this damage is not gonna compare to the damage of a main color skill. So yeah, don't even try it, guys. This is just as bad, if not worse than this one. And then we have the Awakening skill. This one is good. Kokyuryuha. Kokyuryuha is a range attack, hold attack, 18-second cooldowns. Perform a range attack with energy bullets that ricochet between all enemies. Fires 2 additional bullets with damage increase when a slot effect is applied. With damage increase when a slot effect is applied? Weird that it doesn't say the percentage. Let's see. 2 green increases damage by 20% for 8 seconds. This is actually pretty good because green usually is going to be an offensive color, and this just enhances your offensive capabilities. And the 8-second duration is pretty useful. Then 2 blue reduce the enemy's defense by 20% for 10 seconds. Pretty good as well. Su has the ability to become a supporter, just so that you know. It's not the most reliable thing out there, but it's there, the build, and I'm gonna show you that. And then we have red, gains super armor for 8 seconds. This one you're gonna ignore. It's either green or blue. For red, there's basically one build, but it is good. So, anyways, let's just start checking what Su can do. And we're gonna start with green. So, just to show you very quickly what you can do with Su. Yeah, the weapon. Let's start with the weapon. We're gonna use Double Dragon Kajiri for this one. Double Dragon Kajiri is going to increase the speed and the damage of the skills for 5 seconds after using a skill, and has a 50% chance to reduce the remaining cooldown time of one of the skills by 26% after using the skill. It activates every 3 seconds. So it's basically a way to increase your speed, increase your damage, and spam your skills. It is not guaranteed, but it is good enough, honestly. And it is definitely worth getting. It is the best weapon she has right now. Another notable weapon is going to be the Momochi weapon, but we'll go to that in a moment. So this weapon is 4 out of 5 plus 15. This one 5 out of 5 plus 15. Critical damage Magatamas with water element and whatever attack Magatamas. For skills we use Nakuryuso because we need the damage, of course. For the second one we use Sendenka. There's a reason for that one, but usually, unless you're using this specific build, this specific combination of skill and supporter, you want to use Kokyuryuha. Because with that one, you're going to get a generic damage increase. And lastly, I have over here Ryurinkoku. Ryurinkoku, usually, I just said that usually we don't use this. But I'm going to tackle challenging content and some struggles with HP recovery, as you may have seen. So if I want to do this on green, I have to commit one of my skills to damage reduction, basically. And because of that, I need a supporter that gives me HP recovery. Francis doesn't seem to give HP recovery, but she gives a stack of tipsies. And for those who do not know, tipsy provides HP recovery per stack. So you're gonna recover some amount of HP, and the cooldown is pretty short. That's the main reason I'm using Francis. There's also the option of using someone like Akane, but the cooldown is a little bit longer, and the damage increase, the huge damage increase, only affects bosses. The generic one is going to be smaller. Do not use invincibility supporters. If I'm not mistaken, the super armor removes that, still removes that. And for other healing options, we don't have many options unless you're going to time of 5BR. Then we do have some options. Lamarck is there, but not my cup of tea, you know. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, there are other things that heal, but not as reliable as the ones that I already mentioned. So the other advantage of using Wild West Francis is that she increases melee damage, and most of the damage that Sue deals is going to be melee. She also increases the speed. She on the main is going to be able to reduce the cooldown of the skills, which is nice. And then we use Ichika. That's the reason why we use the poisoning skill. We have the ability to use Senrenka with this one, with Ichika. I'm gonna get a generic damage increase for melee attack, but at the same time, while the enemy is poisoned, I'm gonna be able to get a damage reduction. So I'm gonna become tankier. And then we have Kaoru over here. Kaoru is just a generic damage increase, just cause. Stats of the customs, stat training, and now, oh yeah, these ones. We have HP increase, damage reduction, and damage increase, and damage increase for protective characters. So yeah, with this stoic of the Heartfelt, the Library Girls, Adventure Hunter, Taimanin, I'm gonna have enough damage and damage reduction. So I'm gonna go to 120 because that I think with this build I did. Let's see if I can do this one. I did 110 with this build, but I'm gonna try to do this one. Let's see if I can. So I start by doing this, and I evade, and I destroy. Yeah, maybe I can. Probably I can. As long as I take care of myself, it shouldn't be that difficult. Oh, come on, really? Yeah, just like that. Poison, poison. Evade. Nice, 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 nice. Yes. And I'm gonna use the active right now to start the cooldown. Okay. In that case, I just wait. Yeah, perfect. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, that's why I use this one. The amount it heals its percentage base, it is like 10% heal. I don't remember. But it is just good enough. Now. Okay, good. Perfect, perfect, perfect. This is the dangerous wave for Sue. Because of the range attacks. So keep that in mind. And I'm gonna use the active, and nice, perfect. Yep, there. Perfect. And okay, since they don't seem to be dying just yet, I'll just do the basics, and that's done. Yeah, pretty simple. Now, let's see. I start by using this. Evade. Poison. Active. There, nice. And I'm gonna use the ultimate. I'm gonna take advantage. The ultimate provides invincibility, which is pretty unique. No, I used to have a unique super mode too, but they reworked that. Which, uh, what? Glitchy, nice. Okay. Anyways, let's go with the next color. As I mentioned, guys, if you don't have Ichika, you can substitute her with anything else, and you can go with a more aggressive build that uses Kokuryuha. Now, let's go with which was the next one? I think it's red. Yeah, red. For red, we're gonna be using the Momochi weapon because it increases damage tremendously and debuffs the enemy. While Su has ways to debuff the enemy, we want like a guaranteed way with um, our weapon. So we're gonna use the the pure red skill, of course. We're gonna use the attack buff, and we're gonna use the huge defense drop. So this one. Ah, yeah, with this I can do it. Now I remember. With this I can. So we use Susune because we need damage increase and HP recovery, and we use Aoi. Why Aoi? Because there are two important things to take into consideration. Most of the damage in the game is going to be melee, and she's going to reduce damage taken from melee attacks. She also reduces the cooldown of the supporter skill, so I'm going to be able to spam the active of my supporter so that I can heal more. It is super important. And lastly, I have Shiranui. What's the issue with this build? Range attacks. Like the second wave, the machine wave is going to be extremely uh, difficult. If I don't deal with them quickly, they're gonna deal a lot of damage. So I have to do that super fast. Okay, let's do the run. On the other hand, the other waves are pretty simple for the most part. Yeah, attack like this. Yeah, it is. How can I say it? It doesn't deal as easily with waves of enemies because this is more of a single target build. I mean, it's the way red works. Okay, I just need to evade, and I do this, and there. Nice. And I heal. Evade. Come on. I just do this. Perfect. Nice. And done. And okay, good enough. The issue here is that I'm gonna have to use the ultimate. Otherwise, I may take too much damage. Okay, I just evade, attack, and that should be it. Okay, not yet. Like, as I mentioned, Su struggles with damage even with this pretty aggressive build. No. It's not like super aggressive. I have two defensive supporters. But it's either that or not surviving to the attacks. Because I cannot wait for the cooldown. It is just too long. Even with the reduction, I have to take care of my HP. And this one. I evade. Okay. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna use my ultimate on the next wave. It is required, basically. Oh, God. As I mentioned, this is pretty nasty. Come on. There. Because I don't get damage reduction from these enemies. Oh. Okay, good enough. I just need to deal with these two. Nice. Perfect. And now I use the ulti. to deal with this wave. Otherwise, I would not be able to. Yeah, the range damage is going to take a toll on me. Okay, and for this one, I'm gonna try and wait a little bit so that the cooldown helps me out on the next wave. I really need that HP recovery. Yeah, the thing is that, like last time I did this, I had to... Since the enemies have damage reduction on this wave, I have to use the ulti, I have to run. Technically can be done, but it is a little bit difficult. Okay, no. Can I just... Come on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait until I have my active and the ulti, which I don't like doing this. I always try to avoid this strategy. But that just shows that Sue has some pretty serious flaws on her kit. HP recovery, basically. That's the issue with Sue. Like, well, it's not the only one. She also lacks damage. Her identity, she doesn't like an identity, but her identity is to use the super armor, abuse the super armor, not be interrupted, use a lot of combos. But she exposes herself too much and she doesn't have HP recovery. So what's the benefit of it? Why should we use it? Come on. Okay, I have to wait again for the particles and the active. Yeah, I hate doing this. 2 and there. Okay, good enough. With this I can deal with the mobs. And destroy a good chunk of the HP of the boss. Yeah, I managed. Yeah, I don't like to do that, but it is what it takes to beat this station red. But the good news is that blue is completely different. Blue can go up to this point. Yeah, I mean, it's blue. It's blue, of course it's gonna work. Like, blue used to be such a bad color, but now it's great. So, what are we going to do? Again, I'm gonna use Double Dragon Kajiri, because I want to abuse my skills. Basically, that's the reason. Then, we use Ryu Hashin, of course, because that's the damaging skill. We use, who would have guessed, Ryorinkoku, because we need to become tanky. And we use Kokyu Ryuha, because we need the defense reduction. Otherwise, we wouldn't have enough damage for the bosses. In fact, the bosses are gonna need the ultimate once again. So we use Kurenai, the invincible button, you know, super good, with HP recovery, damage reduction, damage increase, a busted buff, like pretty good. And then the founding tree. Why the founding tree? Because I need more damage increase, damage reduction, and HP recovery, and this has the 3. And we're gonna receive a copy of this one. If you have nano machines, it is good to use them on this one. Lastly, a copy of Phantom Mizuki Shiranui, because she gives HP increase and damage on my character. I could equip like a ton of other things. You can equip your Anaros if you have her. You can equip your not this one because we have mobs, but you can equip your Akina for HP recovery. You can equip your where is she? Wait a moment. Yeah. You can equip your Rika, your Butler Asagi, your Lilim, your Nana. I mean, there's a ton of options. Technically, you can equip Kana because Kana. Where is Kana? Technically, you can equip Kana because this supporter provides buffs, but it isn't exactly my cup of tea. Besides, technically, you receive buffs from Ryorinkoku, so that's another thing. So, well, anyways, let's do the run. So, obviously, blue is gonna be the most busted one for her, so I just do this, and then, which was this was the command. There. As you can see, reducing the defense of the enemy and then using your main damaging skill is going to obliterate them. Nice. And I don't care about damage, honestly. I just evade, evade, attack, and then how about you all gather so that I can just destroy most of you. There. What a good bunch of spiders following orders. Yep. If there's one debuff that Sue doesn't like, that's speed reductions. She's fast, but the speed reductions makes her truly slow, like Murasaki level of slow. So yeah, let's try to avoid that debuff. Okay, so one more wave of enemies. Oh, I forgot the debuff. Like this, let's see. Yeah, good enough. And now I just eliminate the spiders. Okay, done, and done. Nice. So now I have the ultimate. The thing is, Momochi and Murasaki are pretty tanky. Even, look at that HP. Even if I use my skills, they're gonna survive. Okay. Aha. Not to mention that Momochi creates clones. So, yeah. That's gonna be annoying. But even so, this build is strong enough to just destroy this stage. The only issue is that you have to be careful when you have little HP. Like, look, I have like 5 buffs. I could definitely use Kana. Okay, that one. Let's see, how much? Oof, they still have a ton of HP. Okay, reduce, evade, attack, and I'm going over here. Reduce, attack. No, oof, there, that one. Really? You're doing that? Okay, good thing I have the ulti one more time so that I can deal with those. Murasaki's gone? I think Murasaki's gone already. Nice. Look at that HP. Gone. I just need to defeat the clones, and that's it. There. So, yeah, doable for sure. Doable. But you all have already seen all my builds have HP recovery. That's the issue with Sue. She's a good character and a fun character, but the HP recovery, the lack of HP recovery is just too much. We still have a couple more builds, but these ones we're gonna do on the bonus stage. Why? Because, I mean, these are not good enough for challenging content. If you are able to clear the stage, you can use these builds. It is it is available to you, but not exactly the best. I gotta admit. So We're using the Momochi weapon again, critical Magatamas. The Magatamas are the same. The weapon 5 out of 5 plus 15, the sub weapon. As for skills, we're going mixed with red. Shunrenka, Shinryuga, and Senrenka. Damage buff, damage reduction, and main damaging skill, of course. And we're gonna use Susune because it gives HP recovery, it ensnares the enemies, it gives damage increase guaranteed thanks to the Momochi weapon. Fuyutsuki because we're gonna deal with waves of enemies, and Francis because it's a generic damage increase for melee attacks. But if you want to change Francis for something like Kowaru, you can do that. Kowaru gives more damage, but Francis is gonna give me speed, and I want the speed. So let's do. Oh, what do I have here? Oh, okay. Let's change these ones. Let's change these ones. These are the ones I use for dailies or events. So I'm gonna put protect, and I have this one, and I have this one. Yeah, why not? And in this particular case, since the challenging content is not as difficult as tower, I'm gonna use this one. Even though it reduces my defense, I'm just gonna obliterate the enemies. So we have this one, and there are two more builds. And now that I think about it, I should have enhanced one of my weapons beforehand for this video. Well, you'll have to see me just enhance one of the weapons. Yeah. Yeah, it's hold attack. During normal attacks, hold attack. As you can see, she has pretty good damage, and she's able to clear the stage. But you can only use this build if you were already demolishing the stage. That's the issue. If the enemy doesn't have like too much damage for you to not have HP recovery. Well, technically I have HP recovery, but as I mentioned, waiting for the cooldown is not always viable. Okay, done. Easy peasy. I do this. And I do this one. Oh. A little bit of super armor where on the skills. Natural super armor. I mean, technically she shouldn't need, like, but she doesn't put enough super armor on her. Oddly enough, she can. But it's not like always active. It should always be active. Golly. Oh no! Stun! My worst, my greatest enemy. Yeah. Oh my god, poor Sue! Okay, one more time. Like this, and then this one. Really? Okay. Done. I think one more wave. Yeah. Oh, look who's here. I wanted to use the ulti, but no, let's do it without the ulti. The thing is, these things are going to stun me. There. 1, 2, and okay, done. Yeah, too much damage for this kind of content. Well, it is to be expected, but let's do the other one because we have more builds. The next one is gonna be the weapon active build. One of my favorites. For the weapon active build, you're gonna need a different weapon. And that's gonna be this one. Unidentified Knuckle X. Honestly, it is a not really reliable or viable. It is just fun to use. If you are strong enough and you want to use weapon active builds, you can do this one. Let's see. So I just equip the Magatamas. And for this one, we have to go green. So, let me think. Technically, I can go mixed. Yeah. Who do I want? Okay, I'll use this one. Um, I'll go pure green. I'll go pure green. So let me tell you, you have the option of using a couple supporters. Micah, Fire God Micah. We can also use Hikage. We can also use the F2P option of Momoko, but that's one not really great. We also have Tomoe. Tomoe is a pretty good option for her. And we have, for mixed builds, the option of Ingrid, Red Ingrid. But some are limited, so it's a little bit difficult to get them all. So I'm gonna use this one. Unfortunately, since I don't have HP recovery, I'll keep Francis. But the other ones are gonna be focusing on particle charge and damage increase. This one is damage increase and HP recovery on the main. So for the skills, what do we use? Preferably, I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna need the damage reduction. Technically, you shouldn't want this, but the HP recovery issue. Okay, this, and for the last one, what do we have? Damage increase. Perfect. Nice. Great for dealing with waves of enemies, and yeah, that's it. So, this one. This one is gonna be pretty fun. I just destroy most of the enemies. The thing is, oh, I forgot about another thing. You can put. Okay, I'll do it. I'll change it. We just started. You can put the over here the basic enhancer. Instead of this one, we put the basic enhancer, and that's gonna help you charge your particles even faster. So look at this. Not the greatest, right? I mean, yeah, she. Ah, it can be done, but if I have to take care of the lack of HP recovery, it becomes a little bit annoying because I don't charge as much particles as I would like to. Yeah, this is basically the red skill. The active is basically the red skill, which I love, but... Come on. There. And you charge more with your skills. Nice. Okay. And there. Nice. Yeah, it is really, really fun to use this. I cannot deny that. But it's not exactly effective, guys. Particles. Nice, nice. Particles, particles, particles. Just one. And then I use the active so that I keep the stacks of Fire God Mica. Yeah, like that. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Nice. Okay, active. Okay. 1, 2, and... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Well, we have 20 seconds, technically, so that shouldn't be an issue. There. Nice. And we use the active just to eliminate the last one. Yeah, the active is pretty fun. I love it. But not always you can abuse this build, because sometimes you need to take care of the HP recovery. I could have done it better because we saw that I didn't need the HP recovery. So I could have just equipped Ingrid. God, Ingrid is such a disgustingly good particle charger. And especially if you don't use the ultimate. Talking about ultimates, let's do the last build with the ulti spam. But for the ulti spam, we need not crab pincer. And for this one, I'm just gonna bother you a little by enhancing the weapon a little bit. One. Let's see. Two. one more, and then I start using the few enhancers that I have. Okay. I have only 2 chances to do this. So let's see how much I can. Okay, only one. Please do it, do it. That happens. What? No, 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 no. Oops. Well, it is what it is. Anyways. Not scrap pincer. 5 out of 5 and plus 13. And we put the melee critical damage. Magatemas. And, well, for this one, what am I going to be using? Basically the same. Let's see. Technically, I don't want to use the red one, so I'm going to change this one, since we saw that I can manage. The question is who? Who? I know. I'll be using, where is she? Hikage, that gives me a little bit of particle charge, but what I'm gonna be using is Maika. What Maika? Why Maika? Because of the active. The active is gonna give me particle charge. It restores 20% of the particles, and it also deals damage, and that gives you more particle charge, and it also gives you critical rate, so that's why I'm using Maika on the main. Yeah, let's change the outfit. Wait, no. The summer outfit, of course, because I have the pincers. Why not? Let's see, and yeah. Oh, okay. Let's just do one of these, and we can do the last run. So for the last one, look at how much particle charge I get. This is the real particle charge, guys. I mean, the weapon makes a whole difference. It is just on a whole nother level. So, yeah, pretty good, pretty nice. Let's see. Where is the... Here. And a little bit more particles. Okay, don't do that. Let me just get done. And I use the ultimate again. Nice. The issue with this one is that I have to charge the whole thing for Mecha to give me the stacks. So that's not exactly the most reliable. Look, I get the damage increase, but technically I could just do this. I could use the active a couple times to get maximum stacks. Which is doable, but well, okay, I'll do it just for the last wave to just demolish the last wave. Yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3 there, and over here I use the active. I do a couple. Come on. Okay, I use this one more time. Particle charge, perfect. And I think I have max stacks, so I just use the ultimate. I'm gonna use the active and this just to keep the stacks in place. And with the ultimate, I just erase everyone. So yeah, I mean, this kind of content is not as difficult as tower. That's why I can do these builds. On tower, I need the HP recovery. That's the issue. So anyways, let's check one more, the supporter build. So for this one, what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to go to Time 5 BR. I'm gonna put my classic build. So here we have two damage dealers, two range damage dealers. And this one I'm just going to remove. I'm gonna take the Magatamas. Ah, perfect. Water Magatamas. Water anti-machine Magatamas. So, let me tell you what you can do with Su. It is different depending on the position, just so that you know. Because if you pilot Su, you can do one build, but if you don't, you should do another one. So, for weapons, technically you should go with Dragon Kajiri. But it is possible to use the Kishinken if you have the Bride and a Rose, of course. But let's go with Double Dragon Kajiri. Now, red anti-machine. Perfect. Then, for supporters, we would go with blue. What do you want to put? Of course, we put Mirabelle because she's gonna be an excellent supporter with Mirabelle. Then, what else do you put? Well, depends on your team. In this particular case, I can put Asusa. If you have, of course, the Momochi weapon, as I mentioned, you put Bride and a Rose. If you're piloting this character, you're able to put Haru. If you want, you can put Lapis. These are options if you pilot the character. If you don't put it on your main and you let the AI do its thing, you want two supporters basically. You want Nana and you want where is it? Akina. Maybe even Asagi. Why? Why? She's not gonna be a supporter without Mirabelle. Well, there's options. Let me show you. First, I'm gonna equip her as I'm trying to use her. I'm gonna pilot her as the supporter. So I can put this, and which on the last one? This one. This one is gonna be good enough. So the main appeal of using Su supporter is that you get reduced defense by 20%, which is pretty nice. And then we need skills that we can use. That's the thing. We only have two. It's gonna be Ryorinkoku and Ryu Hashin. Wow, very original, right? Let's see. And now we can go with Su to commemorate the fact that she didn't get the gacha this month, or well, last October. Pretty weird. I was expecting her. So, anyways, the other ones are gonna be two generic damage dealers. I'm not gonna show the builds. Penetration for range, increased damage against machines, and penetration for protect. So yeah, I just need to protect myself and lure the enemies. That's my role on this one. So I start by getting near the enemy. Then I evade. Perfect. Then I debuff them and I buff the party. And look at that damage. Pretty nice. Yeah, like Su supporter. Honestly, how fast was that? Let me see. The time. Okay, just so that you know, this was faster than my normal runs. Like 5 floors, 20 seconds, 13 seconds. Yeah, so can perform the role. It basically relies on the supporters to do this. The supporters are gonna be what carry her. The fact that I use 2 humans, no, 3 humans, and I'm putting Asusa over here to increase the damage of my whole team is pretty substantial. Of course, Mirabelle is the best supporter that you can equip, but the F2P option would be to use Akina, Nana, and Asagi. That way you become tanky and she can just debuff the enemy by applying the defense down. Honestly, that's more than enough. And she is tanky enough thanks to the damage reduction that we have, the HP increase that we have, and the Ryorinkoku, of course. So, Well, anyways, let's start checking the weapons over here. So weapons, we have Su. Su. Let's start with the SRs. We have an anti-machine weapon and an anti-demon weapon. That's pretty good. So Su is able to beat demons and machines easily. F2P. That's nice, honestly. That's pretty good. So do not ignore these weapons. They are amazing. Then, the ambitious weapon, you know, the bad design ambitious weapons, pretty old. Nice skin, I guess, but not really important. Then we have the cherry blossom weapon. Honestly, one of the few that I like the design. It is pretty nice. Then we have the unidentified knuckle. Okay, it is pretty bad by comparison of modern standards, but it is usable. Just keep that in mind. It is one of the most fun weapons she has, but most people do not use particle charge builds, particle charge supporters. So I understand if you ignore this weapon. Then we have of course, the arena weapons, the best stats for the weapons. The demonic weapon, as bad as always. The only good thing is the skin. Then we have the summer weapon. Summer weapon are good for ulti spam builds, and Su is a character that particularly like to use ulti spam builds. So yeah, you can rely on this weapon. Yet again, you have to have particle charge supporters, otherwise you're not gonna use that. And the main appeal of this ultimate is not the damage. You can even use the Red Ingrid that reduces damage of ultimate. The main appeal is actually the invincibility that you have on the super mode. So you can just chip away a little bit of damage and just wait for the cooldown of your healing supporter. So yeah, it is good. Then we have the snake weapon, same as the summer weapon, but with worse stats. So I do not recommend it. If you have this option, which you should, because we get copies every year, you should use the summer weapon. The SR, again, super armor, not that great. The Draconic Fang Gauntlet. So, increases the duration of super armor gained from character skills by 30% up to 60%, and reduce damage taken by 12% up to 24% during basic attacks. Oof. During basic attacks is the big issue. Honestly, I understand what they were trying to do, and it makes total sense because you have the super armor, so you can use the basics. But the basics are not strong enough, or we don't get like skills that buff the basics, or a leader skill that makes the basics heal. If that was the case, we could use this weapon effectively. That's not a bad idea, honestly. Like making a leader skill that heals with basic attacks. Like not too much, but heals with basic attacks because she's fast, so she could heal a lot. Even like 2% or 3% per basic would be nice. Let's see. The Rebellious Weapon, we just saw how good it is. Su has multi-hit on many of her skills, so it is definitely good to use. Double Dragon Kajiri, the strongest weapon she has because of all the synergies. Speed increase, damage increase for skills, and cooldown reduction. Cooldown reduction, as you have learned by seeing Saika, is one of the strongest things to have in the game, so pretty good. And now, let's check the character. Should you get Su? Not really. She's super fun to play. If you love a fun character, get her. But honestly, she's not a high priority. She's something that you want to get when you're already stacked, because she needs a lot of investment. As you saw, She's semi F2P friendly because she has the SRs and she can rely on the crab pincer. But those weapons are just beat sticks for the most part. No, not too different from the arena weapons. And for the skills, you saw she over relies on these skills, even on a color she shouldn't, because she doesn't have HP recovery, so she needs the damage reduction. And she cannot use optimally the invincibility supporters. She needs you to equip a healing supporter on the main, and if you don't have those, then she's gonna struggle. So yeah, guys, I do recommend playing Sue. I do not recommend playing her right out of the box. Like when you're starting the game, when you get her, you're gonna need to level her up. You're gonna need to make her really, really strong. And then, once you have a couple good tanky supporters, you can play with her. Which is a little bit unappealing, I know. But she's a really, really fun character to play with. That's the only that's the only saving grace. Like she's super super fun to play, but uh, anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you agree, you disagree, if you find it useful, if there's any other characters that I'm missing to do the let's play, anything else that you want to watch, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye.